In this episode, we're taking a bike ride to Hollywood Beach in South Florida. Hey, what's going on? Welcome back. I'm filming this on my phone today. I usually do it with a different camera, but I'm kind of on the move, and I figured I'd want to get this done, my little monologue, my opening monologue. But anyway, when I first made this YouTube channel, started this YouTube channel, I was figuring it would be like to kind of show people what a guy like me who moved down here from Philly, what I do down here in South Florida, my experiences and whatnot, going diving, going fishing, things like that, driving to Key West. And anyway, in this video, in this episode, I decided to take a bike ride from my place here in Hollywood, Florida. I accidentally landed in Florida, or Hollywood, and near the beach, like 5 minutes from the beach, even though I should have been aiming to do that. Just kind of like a place popped up that was near the beach, and then I ended up there, and my God, I'm so glad I did that. I'm so glad for happy mistakes or coincidences or whatever. But anyway, I live minutes from the beach, and I decided to take a bike ride and take everybody along. So in this episode, we're going to take a bike ride to Hollywood Beach. As far as I'm concerned, it's the best beach in the United States. You can have Miami, you can have Fort Lauderdale, because there's roads you have to cross and stuff. Hollywood Beach, there's bars and restaurants and everything all right there on the beach. You can walk out on the beach, take a dip and come back and finish your beer, if that's what you're into. I like to go bike riding down on the beach. They have a nice bike lane there. But in this episode, that's what we're going to do. We're going to leave my place. We're just going to go for a bike ride to the beach. And I hope you enjoy it, and if you enjoy it, please hit like and subscribe, and that'll get it where I can share with other people. YouTube will start sharing a little bit more. So if you're enjoying this at all, please hit like, subscribe down below, and I'll see you out there. So come join me as I go diving, driving, and droning around South Florida and beyond. Yo, let's do this. Heading out for a bike ride to the beach on a Saturday afternoon during spring break. Hopefully it's not too crazy out there. Pump my tires up real quick. A little pump I have that connects to the car. I like my tires good and firm because they're really small tires. So less traction on the road, small tires, hard tires. I can just coast forever. I cut through downtown over the railroad tracks. Downtown's a pretty cool, colorful place in Hollywood, downtown Hollywood. They actually call it downtown, so it's a bunch of restaurants and clubs and bars and stuff. There's often events going on. On this day, there was some sort of art festival going on. So the police are there, they shut everything down. I kept on buzzing through. There's a park. There's like these 3 circles on the main boulevard, Hollywood Boulevard, and one of them is Young Circle, and there's a park there that I cut through. I enjoy cutting through. And Hollywood Boulevard is just lined with palm trees and really beautiful houses, a bunch of older houses, very Florida houses. That house there is the Young Mansion. Young is, I forget what his first name was, but Young, he kind of developed Hollywood, Then you come up to the bridge that goes over the intercoastal. Everybody's on bikes in South Florida and Hollywood. There's the intercoastal. You can cut through, and there's spots where you can go out into the ocean right over there on the other side of that building. Somebody's got the Hooray for Hollywood sign right in their backyard. It was time to keep moving. You see bikes everywhere. A lot of people like to just coast down this and pick up all kinds of speed. Not me, man. I feel like if something goes wrong, you go over that wall, it's gonna hurt. I cut down around, cruise up to the beach. Down on Hollywood Beach, there's a constant battle with people walking in the bike lane. The bikers are vicious about it. They have horns and whistles and everything else. Right here, I left this in because this is sort of a thing that's going on in South Florida. Hollywood does not want to have big, tall condominiums because they cast a shadow like this. This is probably the tallest building, or one of the tallest buildings on Hollywood Beach. The residents of Hollywood Beach, are just fighting the developers. They don't want big condos coming in like south of Hollywood, where the beach by this time of the afternoon is just one big shadow. We want the sun, And there's all kinds of restaurants and music going on in Hollywood on the beach all the time. Like, you get to have a beer and then run down to the water, take a dip, and come back and finish your beer or lunch or whatever you're into. Here it is again. Bunch of cool bars and everything on the beach. Restaurants, great food. That's what you do down in Hollywood. You just kind of hang out and enjoy the beach. There's no parasailing and all that stuff. That's a great taco joint, which as I passed by reminded me I was hungry. There's an original way to block the bike lane with a bike. I ran in and grabbed a lobster taco. It's like $6 for a lobster taco. It's fantastic. It's a great taco joint on Hollywood Beach. And I like to go over and sit on the wall and have lunch. I just got one taco today. I usually get like two, but I just needed one. I was on the fly. I needed to keep moving. There on the left, you have Margaritaville. In other videos, you might have seen me go diving off of Margaritaville and out to the Yellow Brick Road, but that is the infamous Margaritaville on Hollywood Beach Resort. Then there's a band shell that's been out there for decades, but Margaritaville stocks it now with live bands every night. They ask you to walk your bicycles through. That's also Johnson Street, just a little bit of other stuff going on, bars and restaurants, pizza shops. Plenty of trash cans. No reason to throw your trash on the beach. Recycling and everything. Hey honey, grab the luggage. Let's put it in the middle of the bike lane. Yeah, you can see it's just an everlasting battle, the bike lane. It was packed that day. And this is relatively new, Senor Frogs. They came down here, I guess, a couple years ago. A little too loud for me, a little too expensive. Not my scene. Bunch of little shops and stuff. You can exercise on the beach and everything. There's a little park. It's like a bunch of water sprays up. Kids love to go play in the water in that park. Like sprays up out of the ground. That's the life. Hammock between two palm trees on the beach. And clearly the bike lane is marked. Not everybody sees it. There's a little famous little tiki bar, Riptide. A lot of people go there. It's always packed. And apparently there's a cafe there. I only just now found out. Then we're passing by the Margarita, and this is the Walkabout Tiki Bar. And that is one of the best guitar players I've ever stood in the presence of. His name's Jimmy. He just shreds, man. I love just going and watching him shred. I popped in to say hi to the bartender. She's kind of a little famous too. Then I kept moving. That's Ocean's 13. It used to be called Ocean's 11. And when we were kids, I mean little kids, we used to go there and they had these foot-long hot dogs. And my cousin and I used to go into the store next door. I mean, that place has been there forever. That little store, we go in there and get Mentos. And I got introduced to diving right there because my cousin and I, when we were only like 9 or 10 years old, decided to swim out to the dark water and see what was out there. And it turns out there was a reef. We didn't know. So that's what kind of brought me back down here. I wanted to learn how to scuba dive and go to those reefs all the time. And this is a nice ride. You get off the Broadwalk, people are barbecuing and stuff. There's a little park there, awesome for barbecuing. You still got plenty of places you can ride. Still got another few miles. You can walk through the sand dunes and the sea grapes and get out to the water. It's a little breezy for the drone today. I promise I'm not stalking the skater girl. We just happened to be going at the same speed. But I lost her at the turn. She couldn't keep up. Then you go back in the summer. This is great, you know, because it's all shaded, and it's a welcome little shady surprise, you know, completely covered. Keeps the sun off you in the summertime. You get a little break from the sun for a minute on your ride. The whole ride is about from my house to the end of the pier where we're headed, about 6 miles. 6 miles and change. Beautiful dog there. This, I figured I'd pop off. This is a spot, if anybody's seen my videos before, you might recognize this from my opening. You know, this is called Perry Street, and there's a great little dive spot straight out there called Perry Street Boulders. Some beautiful reef out there. It was time to keep moving. Wanted to get it in and get in the sunset. There you go. How about that? Living right on the beach, one of the most beautiful beaches in America. Right on out there. It's probably a blessing and a curse because you get all the weather. You know, there's nothing to block the wind. And this here is just a beautiful little spot. It'll pop up there on the right. Yeah, you can just go sit on that bench. I've done it many times. Just listen to the water. It's fantastic. And lifeguards everywhere. There's another house. And this guy seems like he's kind of happy with it. He hasn't like painted it or anything in years, and it's a fantastic little house. Then you cut through this little spot here, getting over to the parking lot for the pier, and with tiny tires, you got to be careful because you can hit these sand spots where you just lose it. You wipe out. I've done it a few times. Right there, it's critical. You know, I made it through that one, but it's been raining a lot lately, so maybe it cleared out. Then you got this bar they just built in the past year or two. It's called Little Fish. It's like a big giant tiki, a little corporate for my taste. But nice place. You know, drinks are good, food is so-so. But you can sit up on the tiki and look out and see the water, which is fantastic. It's really packed down there that day. The traffic was out of control. Fortunately, I'm on a bike and can go right through those do not enter signs. And that's a yellow flag saying that the sea conditions are, you know, moderately dangerous. Got a lot of love in Dania Beach. Needed to stop and use a bathroom, but they've been working on that for a couple months. I don't know what they're doing. But fortunately, they do have a little porta potty going on there, and the air conditioner did not work. And apparently there's another reason I can't take my drone up. I had no idea you cannot take your drone up around the pier. Now I know. I've done it before. But I went buzzing on down the parking lot. At the end of the parking lot, you got a bar, restaurant called the Quarter Deck that's pretty cool. It's connected to the pier, and the bar wraps around inside and outside, you know, so you can go inside, have air conditioner, you could be outside and catch the breeze. You know, and walk right out there and do some fishing or just sightseeing, look into the water. It's like $2 if you want to go on the beer. There you go, there's your yellow flag, medium hazard. I thought about getting an ice cream cone, but no, kept moving. Just kind of didn't have the time. There's a little marina down there, so I rode past the marina, take a look at some boats. People just hang out on their boats. I guess I would if I had a boat. You know, why not? And this guy came riding up behind me. It kind of surprised me. I didn't hear him at first. I don't like riding my bike on that little spot. There's something about it. It's like a phobia. Like if I fall off that edge and into the water, it makes me nervous. So I don't do it. But it's time to boogie on, kill a little time before the sunset. So we want to go check out the sunset. That guy did everybody a favor, parking his Winnebago right in the middle of everything. And headed back into the patch, the sandy patch. And we've gone diving here a bunch. There's a place out there, straight out. It's called the Tech Ledge. It's some really beautiful reef, but it's way out there. You got to swim out about 500 yards. And might notice this, we cut through, but trying to kill some time before we go for the sunset. But it's about time for that sunset, so we gotta get. There's another. He's an oblivious bike rider is going to be an oblivious driver in South Florida. Drivers down here, it's rough. But we're scurrying to get to the sunset. Looks like it's going to be a beautiful one. So now we're way above 6 miles, probably coming up on, because we turned back around and came around and did some loops, so probably 8 or 10 miles at this point, which is nothing really if on a bike. But look, it's just beautiful. You know, there's a little spot on the intercoastal. You can go out there. It's a little boardwalk. You can go out there and watch the sunset. It's just absolutely beautiful. People be out there fishing and hanging out, and sometimes beers and stuff like that. People bring coolers, but it's a fantastic place. Nice and quiet. Chill out, watch the sunset. But hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for coming along. I'm here every other Thursday. Hit like and subscribe. And I'll see you next time. Have a good one.